Well, hello everybody. Thanks for joining me today. I am out, it's about midday, and I'm out at a preserve that I haven't been to in over a year. And it's a really nice preserve. It's a hilltop preserve, so there's a single trail that goes up to the top of the hill, and there's beautiful views of all the hills around, and it's kind of the beginning of where the leaves are starting to change. A lot of the maples and birches are changing already, and they're actually dropping. So I'm going to hike up to the top of the hill and try to see some of the early fall color. And it also, we had a cold front come through last night, so it's very seasonable right now, and I'm hoping that means that there's going to be some birds migrating through the area. So there's a lot of eastern red cedars at the top of the hill. It's a really nice atmosphere, so I'm hoping that there's going to be some movement for the birds, and hopefully we'll find some stuff. But we got to hike up the hill now, and we'll see what we can find. Well, I've made it up to the top of the hill. This is pretty much the top of the trail now, and it's only about a 300-foot elevation gain, which isn't really that much in retrospect, but for Connecticut that's pretty substantial in this part. And you can really see as you go up the trail, it's really neat that you can kind of see the different habitat types as you go farther uphill. It starts down low as being a maple and birch forest, and there's ferns on the ground and that sort of thing. And then as you progress up, you turn into just oaks, and then you see some dead eastern red cedar trees along the trail. And then as you keep going up and up higher, the ground turns sandier and drier, and then you get just pretty much all oaks and hickories, and then eastern red cedar trees, and they're all kind of stunted, so they're actually older than they look, even though they're pretty short and kind of stubby looking. But that's because the wind that's up here, it kind of knocks them down and breaks them off, and it kind of limits the growth that they have. So you can actually see some trunks that are just kind of spun around from the wind, and it's just really neat that you can kind of see that as you go up the hill. So I'm just going to set myself up, and I'm hoping that there's going to be some birds around up here, because this is a lot of oaks and hickories and cedar trees, and I don't see many cedar trees that have berries on them up here, which is disappointing. But I'm hoping that because the birds usually prefer oaks to get insects on, I'm hoping there's going to be some migrating birds up here. But haven't seen any yet, so we'll see what happens. Otherwise, I'll just take some pictures of the beautiful scenery and still enjoy the beautiful fall day. So let's go see what we can find. So I was taking pictures of some of the scenery, some of the trees around, and I heard two ravens flying past, and I missed them because this is kind of like a funnel for birds migrating through. So there's two hills, the one that I'm on and one on the opposite side of me, and it's kind of like a valley, a nice little valley that they fly through. And so I missed the ravens that flew through, but then I saw, I believe there's two turkey vultures that flew through, and I was able to get a couple pictures of them as they're kind of soaring around right in between the hills, and they actually came pretty close, so I got some good pictures of them. Even though I didn't find any songbirds yet, it's really nice to see some birds of prey flying around and soaring through. So hopefully I'll keep my eyes open. I haven't seen any other hawks or anything like that yet, but I'm going to keep looking up and hopefully we'll find some more. Well, haven't had much bird activity other than the turkey vulture, so I'm going to head back down the trail a little bit and just kind of hang around at the top of the hill, and hopefully I'll be able to find something. I did hear some chickadees back that way, but nothing too great yet. I did get a lot of nice like nature pictures, a lot of different the mosses and lichens that are up here, and just like the weird looking cedars because they get blown around and broken up from the wind. So I've gotten a good amount of pictures like that. So now I'm just going to head back down and see if I can find some more wildlife. Mid-October and most of the flowers are done for the season, but there's a beautiful little purple flower. I'm not too sure what it is, but it's blooming on this rock, and I'm going to try to get some pictures of it because it's really nice. It almost looks like a trumpet. It's a very nice cone shape, and let's see if I can get some pictures of it and hopefully figure out what it is. haven't found much. I got some pictures of that purple flower, which was nice. I'm not too sure what it is, but I'll try to look it up when I get home. And I'm gonna head downhill now, because as I came up the hill there was kind of a wet section. A lot of the water was running off the hill, and there seemed to be a little bit more bird activity. There were some red-bellied woodpeckers, there was some downy woodpeckers, and I heard some nuthatches there as well. So I'm gonna head back down that way, and hopefully there will be a little bit more activity down there still, and hopefully get some pictures. There's not much activity at the top of the hill, so I'm gonna head a little bit back down and see what we can get. Got some bird activity going on in front of me. I hear them calling. I believe it's a black and white warbler and maybe some chickadees. And I heard a woodpecker as well, but they're still down the hill a little bit. I'm just gonna sit here and see if they come up this way a little bit. I can see them flying about in front of me, but the wind's also picking up, which isn't really good. This is really nice. I crept down the hill a little bit farther, and there is a nice drop-off, a really rocky drop-off. There's all sorts of birches and maples and oaks down along this valley, and there's a white-breasted nuthatch that is just sitting there taking a nap on the edge of the bark of a white pine tree. It's just sitting there, and it's so cute. It's actually moving now. And they're down there, so I'm hoping that they're not going to be able to smell me. Well, that was really nice to be able to spend a couple minutes with the deer. They were just foraging along the side of the hill, eating acorns and hickories. One of them crept up the hill a little bit of ways, and I'm pretty sure the wind changed and it caught my scent, and it kind of went back down the hill a little bit, but the second one just stayed where it was and kept foraging. Got a couple good pictures of it, I think. It's hard to tell because there's so many branches and sticks in between both of us, so there's always some kind of interference in the picture, but they actually just went farther into the woods. A family came up the trail and scared them farther away into the woods, but it was really nice to be able to spend some time with them. I was able to hide behind the rock wall, and they, for the most part, couldn't smell me and couldn't see me, so it was really nice. So I'm just gonna continue down now. There's a red-bellied woodpecker somewhere around here. I hear it tapping and calling, and I'm gonna see if I can get some pictures of them. And I still haven't made it down to the wet section in the forest where the birds were earlier, so I'm still making my way downhill. Well, I am back down in the lower wet section. I did catch a glimpse of the red-bellied woodpecker. It was hammering away on a white pine that was partially dead, and I got maybe 2 or 3 good pictures of it, and then it disappeared farther into the forest. I am heading down to the wet section in the lower part of the forest now, and so far I haven't heard any birds. So it's not looking very promising, but the way that the light is kind of filtering into the forest right now is really nice. Really kind of shows off the leaves as they're changing colors. But unless I find anything else farther down in the forest, I think that's probably going to be it for me today. So thank you for joining me, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, that like button, leave me a comment if you're interested, and I will see you next time. So thank you for watching.